છું. હું ચૈતન્ય ઘન સ્વરૂપી એવું શુદ્ધ આત્મા છું. હું ચૈતન્ય ઘન સ્વરૂપી એવું શુદ્ધ આત્મા છું. હું અરૂપી છું. હું અરૂપી છું. હું અરૂપી છું. હું અસંગ
Go to the internet. Please, Pulinanandji Deepakanandji.
જય સચિન. હજી કોઈ આવ્યા નથી કે?
સંભળાય છે? Why smile on Pulinanandji?
ના, એટલે મેં કીધું આજે કોઈ દેખાતું નથી.
Cannot hear you.
અવાજ નથી આવતો? એમાં નથી સંભળાતું? No?
Deepakanandji, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Pulinanandji, we cannot hear you.
अरे ऐसा कैसा हो गया? सेम है स्पीकर. હવે સંભળાય છે?
Yes.
હા, ઓકે.
Pulinanandji?
હા, બોલો. આજે આપણે જ છે. હું બાવો ને મંગળદાસ. ને દીપક આનંદ તો સંભળાય છે. He can listen.
Hear you.
હા, હવે આવ્યું ને?
Wearing your gear.
Oh,
You're not wearing your gear.
thank you.
અરે યાર.
Oh, sorry about that. I kept it on the side. Okay, okay. Pulinanandji, three mantra bulai, please. I don't know who's coming, but
નમો વિતરાગાય.
Namo
Namo
Vittagaya.
Vittagaya.
નમો વરિહંતાણમ.
Namo
Namo
Arihantanam.
Arihantanam.
નમો સિદ્ધાણમ.
Namo
Namo
Siddhanam.
Siddhanam.
નમો આયરિયાણમ.
Namo
Namo
Ayariyanam.
Ayariyanam.
નમો વજ્રયાણમ.
Namo
Namo
Vasayanam.
નમો લોય સૌ સાહુણમ.
Namo
Namo
Loe Sabba Sahunam.
એસો પંચન મુક્કારો.
Echo
Eso
Panchanamukaro.
Panchanamukaro.
સૌ ભાવ પનાસણો.
Tava
Sarvapavapranasano.
મંગલાણંચ સુવેશેમ.
Mangalanam
Mularam
Suvesing.
હવૈ મંગલમ.
Padmam
Sarvam Bhavai
Mangalam.
Mangalam.
ઓમ નમો ભગવતે વાસુદેવાય.
Om Namo
Om Namo Bhagavate
Vasudevaya.
Vasudevaya.
ઓમ નમઃ શિવાય.
Om Namah
Om
Shivaya.
Namah Shivaya.
જય સચ્ચિદાનંદ.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand. Jai Satchidanand Mahatmao. We've been talking about Vyavasthit Shakti, doubtfulness, fearlessness, separation, Sambhave Nikal. So, anybody? Okay, I'll start. my experience about a week and a half ago. As you all know, we had our hurricane coming. So there was a decision what to do or not to do. One evening, Taruben came and said, "Hey,
જરાક
you
મોટેથી
both
બોલશો કે મને ઓછું સંભળાય છે? સંભળાય તો છે પણ સ્લેટલી મોટેથી બોલજો.
okay. Can you,
અવાજ
Deepakanandji, can you hear
પણ
me? Is okay now?
મોટું ટ્રાય તો ટ્રાય કરો ને તો પછી I will go very close. Okay.
Okay, I'll change it. In the mean, let's take Soham, then I'll come back. So,
Ah.
Jai Sachidanand.
Yes.
So it's this is about 2 days ago. There was a medical emergency in my house. So my housemate just woke me up early in the morning. So they had some severe pain in their body. So we just had to rush to the hospital. When we rushed to the hospital, they had to wait for about 1.5 hours to just to see the doctor because the doctor was not available. So at that time, I just realized that see the Vyavasthit Shakti. So it's because of all their karmas we have to wait. It's not all the hospital staff is not the responsible for. I mean, not the responsible, but they are not the karta. Like I mean, they are not intentionally do make our wait. And I realized that this is the Vyavasthit Shakti. It's making us to wait to it's the karma's fall. That's what I realized. Due to some karmas, I had to wake up early in the morning. Even I was not at fault. I did not have any issue in my body. I did not have any pain. Still, I had to rush to the hospital in the early in the morning. So I realized. So I saw that this is the real. I don't know the proper word, but I see the fall. Karmanu. I saw that it's the karmanu fall from any previous life or something.
okay, Pulinanandji, can you hear me now?
Yeah, okay. That's good. It's good, Soham. But this is called enhanced Jagrati, enhanced awareness, that we don't see the others at fault. You saw your scientific circumstantial evidences.
Yes.
You saw your Vyavasthit at play. That you didn't have an illness, but you still had to get up for someone else's illness. You rushed to the hospital, but the doctor could not attend the patient. And it was because of his or her Bhogota or Vyavasthit. So that's
Right.
very nice. That's very nice. If this knowledge or these 5 agnas, they pop up at the appropriate time, then we are at absolute peace and calm within. Basically, it's the intellect which is calmed down. Otherwise, the intellect will say unnecessary. I had to, my sleep got disturbed, or what type of management is this at the hospital? So an emergency. So that intellect portion was totally subdued. That was a gnan, and because of the gnan of Vyavasthit, it got nullified. Plus minus.
The same thing was happening with my housemate. He doesn't have a gnan of this, so he was very uncomfortable, and he was just blaming the hospital staff that they are really in pain, and this hospital staff is not doing anything. But in my inner mind, I was able to see that hospital staff is not at the fault, because this is coming because of their evidences.
Perfect. That is exactly because of Dada's Gnan, we can remain peaceful, we can remain calm under adverse circumstances. Outside people cannot, because they don't have the knowledge of Vyavasthit at play. They feel I am the doer or the other person is the doer.
Right.
And sense of doership remaining, they automatically will feel, oh, the other person is not doing as what he's supposed to do. The hospital is not doing what hospital is supposed to do. True. That's true. So that under such circumstances, we realize what wonderful Gnan we have got and how much very helpful it is
That's right.
in our daily
It
life.
keeps it's our mind keep calm and peaceful.
So a good experience. Basically, what I really, what is really worth appreciating in the whole thing is that immediately the knowledge of Vyavasthit popped up at the appropriate time, making you be cool in terms of
Right.
sleep and in terms of attending the patient. So that is when you get the aha feeling, oh great, the greatness for the Gnan. And then what happens is with one such experience, where our understanding of Vyavasthit gets reinforced, what will happen is next time any such thing happens, this Gnan will again pop up immediately at the appropriate time. And will
Right. Dada said,
and
yeah, it will come. It will be multiplied by 2.
it keep multiplying, and then gradually then this Vyavasthit gets ingrained into you, and then you are able to do all your activities without panicking. Panic button of intellect remains subdued. It doesn't come into force. Or even if it comes, it is just nullified straight away. After some time, it
Yeah.
won't even arise. It won't even arise. The Vyavasthit will immediately come up after some time. That is after a few experiences of it.
Before I used to be so unstable. Before taking Gnan, whenever any situation came, I was really uncomfortable and I was just blaming the others. But after taking Gnan, this belief has changed. So it's really helpful.
Good, very good, very nice experience. Huh? Jai Satya.
Jai Satchidanand.
See, in any situation, you have to look around for your part of suffering. That
Right.
was your Vyavasthit. And at times we feel that I haven't done anything wrong, then why did I at all I had to suffer? You look out for the nature of suffering, what exactly you're passing through. And then you will understand your fault. In the sense, there are people who are directly getting affected. Their nature of suffering is direct pain. And
Right.
your nature of suffering was you had to wait and hang around with the guy who was suffering.
Right.
So here we have to analyze, observe and analyze our nature of suffering and understand the fault. I give you an example. This is indirect suffering. This is not direct suffering.
Yeah, this is indirect suffering.
This is indirect
So-
suffering. So, Dada nicely explained once that someone said that, Dada, I'm absolutely healthy. I have no problem at all. But my wife has been sick from last 30 years and I have to hang around with her. Where is my fault? What have I done? And Dada said, at times when someone is beating up someone and you are passing by, or you have some grudge against that guy, then you say, add two from my side also.
Yeah.
So
Anumodan.
you haven't done, but you have got it done. So it's like
Right.
supporting someone's act or beating someone indirectly. You are not directly acting or party to or instrument to the other person's suffering, but indirectly you are doing that. Then the outcome is such indirect
Yeah.
suffering.
Yes.
However innocent you are, apparently you feel that, come on, where did I go wrong? Why did I have to hang around and carry on like this? So this is what, in any situation, look around for the nature of suffering Soham has to pass through and understand it is Soham's suffering,
Yes.
it is Soham's karma, and I have to help Soham come out of this agony of suffering without getting any dent or taint on you, leaving behind absolutely clean slate. So that's how you can correct yourself, and you must correct yourself that way. Because we
Yes. So
every time we don't commit crime or mistake directly, but we
yes,
commit
these
this.
are the indirect ones.
Yes, so in that kind of suffering, you can understand how it, and that example is very shocking. He said that for 30 years, right? He said, Chidan.
Yeah. When we reached the hospital in the morning, so immediately I told Soham that this is the consequences of any karma from the previous life, that if you have given any anumodan for any work or any
No, one more
related to
thing. Soham is not given.
not Soham, but I did due to wrong belief from the previous life.
No, not I, not you also. So see, when there is clarity of science, then the clarity of that understanding will keep you totally uh, indifferent, unattached, unaffected. At the same time, you will correct without putting anybody at fault or rightly putting the person at fault. Who was at fault? That ego, last life ignorance was the cause of this karma. And that ego is gone. Ego is no more. So Soma has not done it. You have not done it. The guy who did it, he did it and he passed away. You understand? That's why Dada has said, ego that causes karma and ego that suffers the effect of that karma, always both separate.
So Dada has said bhogwe any bhul. That means Soham is suffering. So that's the mistake from Soham, right?
Not Soham. Soham is also not suffering, because if Soham is sleeping and if someone beat up, no reaction.
Then
You understand?
how can we see that in that situation?
So yes, you in a way you can say, but it is, see, Soham also gets to know that I am passing through this suffering. But this discharged ego, what it does, it says, I had to suffer so much. For nothing. I had to suffer so much. We had to wait for so many long hours. So that is the discharge. Egoism, you have to identify and recognize. You understand that?
Yeah.
It is actually not even.
1 minute. Yeah, go ahead, please.
It is not even Soham.
Right.
Soham is saying because of the discharge egoism, which is making it say that.
Right.
You understand that clearly?
Yeah, I understood. Yeah, I understood.
And if, Dada never said that. Dada never uttered any of these. Why? Because he had passed through that correction, that purification.
Right.
So for him, he always remained, he saw the whole world absolutely innocent.
Yeah. Deepakanandji, sorry to interrupt.
Fine, no problem. Go ahead.
Actually, I'm at work. So can we come back?
Yeah.
No problem.
Sorry.
No, that's okay, no problem. Go ahead, attend to your customer. Okay, Kashyap bhai.
Yeah. Jai Sachidanand, Ratniji, Jai Sachidanand.
Jai Sachidanand.
Yeah, you were talking about the suffering. Dadaji says fault is the sufferer. So, means, for example, we tell file 1 to do pratikraman because it is his fault, right? Is it clear? We tell the file 1 to do pratikraman because it is his fault. For example, if file 1 has bad feelings about someone, inside mind, that anger or sees someone as fault, so it is his fault. And for example, someone gives file 1 pain or bad words, for example, just an example, So then we say you are the sufferer. You got the bad word. So you are responsible. Responsibility is with you. So you should do pratikraman. So pratikraman is done by file 1, right? It is Kashyap in this case. So please expand more on this.
Deepakanandji?
Jai Satchidanand. There is the file. And who is the file?
File, we say by relative view, file 1 is Kashyap. The mind, body, speech is the Kashyap, right? So
Yes.
that is the file 1, right? So the file 1 is responsible. Is it correct or not?
Yes and no. The reason is, see, who is suffering? Sufferer is the file.
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Now, is Kashyap suffering? No. Kashyap is not suffering. How? Let us understand that. It is the expression of the discharged egoism. That is the fight. And we have to pacify that discharged egoism or remain unaffected from its effects. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Outside Kashyap ji is just an instrument or the effect that gets reflected on Kashyap ji.
Yeah. So is it?
So we have to identify, one is the outside Kashyap ji, through which we come to know, through which we also do at times things like pratikraman and all that. But truly, one is the effect of the past karma, that is the mistake part of Kashyap. Do you understand that?
Is Kashyap responsible or not?
You have to understand which part of Kashyap.
Yeah, which part of Kashyap?
Because when we say Kashyap, we only understand outside Kashyap. But the leftover belief part, which is part of the mistake, in Satsang, the leftover part, Dada said you had bundle of blunder and bundle of mistakes.
Right.
Correct? He removed the blunder part.
Right.
He removed the blunder part.
Right.
But mistakes part is still remaining to be attended and corrected.
Yeah.
Which is part of inside Kashyap, not outside Kashyap.
Yeah, the inside Kashyap is responsible.
So that inside Kashyap is the belief part, leftover, uncorrected mistakes, which gets reflected in Kashyap outside.
Right. Okay.
Correct?
Yeah.
Correct? Yeah. So now, when we analyze the whole thing, then where is the file? The file is on the uncorrected, or the mistake part is the file.
Right.
Which needs correction.
Yeah. So inside the belief part is that responsible. Correct?
Yes, and if you really see, even that inside part is not suffering, because there is no sense over there. Knowledge part is not there.
Yeah.
Knowledge part is only on the belief part, the leftover belief part of intermediate enlightened state, which needs correction. So what it does, it perceives with the help of Prajna Shakti, the discharging effects of Kashyap, the leftover mistakes that get reflected in Kashyap outside, mistakes inside which gets reflected outside, and this enlightened, intermediate enlightened state through its, by relative viewpoint, corrects the mistake part, the inside part of Kashyap, And as that inside part of Kashyap gets corrected, outside part of Kashyap, it gets reflected onto him.
Yeah. So the
Correct?
belief part is responsible. This is the summary I got, right?
Yes, yes. Belief part means it is the play of the discharge egoism only. And when we recognize the discharge egoism, it is ego that was causing new karma. It is ego that is suffering
Yeah.
the effect of the past karma. So when we identify that, recognize that, and that mistake, now we understand that it got ingrained or it got tainted in Kashyapji.
Right.
So to come out of that, correct the mistake part.
Right.
That's why you do pratikama.
Got it. Okay. Yeah.
Correct? So you are helping Kashyapji correct himself.
Yeah.
So you don't take the burden of that suffering. And actually Kashyap is also not suffering. It is the display of the discharge egoism which gives blah blah blah.
Yeah, it is just a belief.
So if you ignore that blah blah blah, you have no problem.
Yeah, it's a belief. Yeah, okay, got
So
it.
I give example. Let's say someone else is okay. Nishitanand is sitting beside me and he says, "Oh, my head is aching." Now his head is aching. Who is saying that? That egoism is expressing its suffering. Do you understand? Truly, Nishitanand is also not suffering. If you go deeper into it,
Yeah,
if you want to go on the superficial side, then we can say Nishitanand is suffering and he is saying that my head is aching. So I remain totally unaffected. I, as Deepakanand. But when Deepakanand's head aches, then I say that Deepakanand says, my head is aching. But that time I don't realize how I realize when Nishitanand say my head is aching. I understand it is Nishitanand's head which is aching. So here also I must understand that it is Deepakanand's head that is aching. I have no head. Correct?
correct.
Even with this realization, one experience of separateness definitely comes. And along with that, when that separation is experienced distinctly, then one don't have even the effect of pain. Body will act, but you will not have that effect. Do you understand that?
Yeah, understood.
Like when Mavi Bhagwan, those thorns removed from his ears, when it was removed, he had cried. How do you say cried? How do you say that?
Yeah,
But he cried, right? Not crying, but चीस पड़ी थी, क्या बोलते हैं उसको, चीखे थे. How do you say चिखना यानी in English?
he shout.
No, it's not even shouting. It's not even.
SHREIK, shriek or something,
Acha, fine. We'll find out somehow. So see, that's what he did. So that is part of the body response.
Got it.
He was not affected at all. Because he got away with his discharge egoism, so he remained, that part also remained unaffected, but the body reacted with that. Got it?
Yeah.
So we have to come out of all these, what it is called, instincts connected with the body.
Yeah, this is a very
There
deep,
is no problem. There is no problem with that.
very deep thing here, so just...
No, it is very interesting. It is very interesting. So with this understanding and analysis, you can easily remain separate, unaffected, and as much you get affected, you understand that that is your discharge ownership, which is just playing its part, and you have to come out of it.
Come on.
Huh? Jai Satchidanand.
Pulinanandji?
No, it's fine. It's well covered up. Basically, it's saying is observe even the discharge ego. It's the discharge ego that is suffering. So observe that. That's what the summary is. Observe that.
Okay, I will ask. I have one more doubt, but I'll ask later.
Okay, let's get to Shalyaben and then you come back. Okay. Oh, Shalyaben?
Jai Sachidanand Deepakanandji, Jai Sachidanand Pulinanandji, Jai Sachidanand Rajni Dada.
Jai Sachidanand.
Yeah, this is very profound what you just told about looking at the belief, the discharge, correcting the belief by observing the discharge ego itself. But I'm wondering if this is it's probably very related to what I need to ask. I was, because the last couple of days, there has been a lot of sutras on avoiding clashes, avoiding conflicts, and also about the difference of opinions that we have, and that creates the conflict. Now, I'm just wondering, you might still have the difference of opinions, but you might not clash. You might decide to keep quiet at any given moment. Understand that there is a difference of opinion because of maybe the prakriti is different. We have different circumstances. Is that okay? Or do we still need to correct the belief itself that I should not be having that difference of opinion?
Pulinanandji?
You can, difference of opinion will remain. It will remain. Because everyone has a different prakriti. No? Mindset is different, or belief systems are different, values systems are different. Somebody values time, punctuality, somebody does not value time and punctuality. So each one will have a different this thing. So differences will be there, but not to avoid the clash is the purusharth. You feel this is like this, I feel this is like this, but then somewhere we avoid the clash. That is, we give up on the insistence of our viewpoint. If you don't insist on our viewpoint, the clash does not take place. No?
Okay. So we don't have to try to change the belief of have the different, I mean, the opinion itself. That is not happening, because I try to observe, why am I having this opinion? I should not have an opinion in this case. But then that makes it very, I'm not able to get to that point where I'm able to separate myself completely. And that opinion is still there, and the judgment is still there.
For another person?
Yes, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes when it relates to, it could be a spiritual thing. The other person might be a very, you might meet a very materialistic person. And, I realize that there should be no judgment, nothing. Everyone has got their own prakriti. But sometimes you judge a person, why are they being, you don't say anything, but the thought comes in your mind that, they are being very materialistic, or, they are, that kind of thing. So it's just a simple example, but sometimes then you realize that you formed a judgment where there should be no judging in this case.
Judgment will take place because of intellect. The intellect typically has a tendency to classify, label, and through its own lenses. No? It is through its own lens that intellect is saying they are materialistic. If we were also of the same type, then we would not be making that type of judgment. Incidentally, we have for reduced materialistic bent of mind, we feel that the person is too materialistic. So the best thing is the intellect has played out its part. It has given a judgment, but then we just leave it at that everyone has its own prakriti. For him, this is the way of happiness or the way of living. For you, this is your thing. So just leave it that this is that discharge prakriti. It's the other person prakriti. This is your thinking, and leave it at that. Judgment comes when you start labeling it as good or bad. These people are so like that. You sort of feel they're a little inferior or down, or you are a little superior or something. So that's labeling. Judgment comes with that labeling of good, bad, right, wrong. So it has popped up that they are doing like this. As I said, just leave it, observe it and leave it. Allow it to go away. Don't fight against it. Allow it to just pass. Because like supposing you've gone in a botanical garden or something, then you see various flowers, fruits and things like that. So you say some things will attract us. Oh, so nice. Something, oh, it's okay. So it is just passing, just pass it and leave it. So, and then that is initially to begin with. And then again, one step ahead, you can just see that Shaila Ben is having this. Shaila having this type of like, this type of dislike, this type of judgment, you know. And then gradually tell her that, okay, everybody has a different prakriti. So it is the discharge prakriti that is playing its part. So then tell the intellect, you have showed me the prakriti. Now you show me the Shuddhatma also.
Oh, okay. Shuddhatma, okay. Try to see the Shuddhatma in that person.
This is all this tamasha is of relative, na? Relative viewpoint, this, that. So say, okay, chalo, relative dekh liya, abhi real bhi dekh lo. Now you also see the Shuddhatma in the other person. So that will nullify and square up everything flat and simple. The eye and intellect saw the outside packing and behavior, and the inner eye, we see the Shuddhatma. So just counter it. चलो packing देखा है, अभी शुद्धात्मा दिखाओ. So you become total vitrag, you see.
Yes.
You also become separate from file number one. Okay, chalo, file number one did this external judgment, and now you're seeing the Shuddhatma and squaring it off the way Vitrag would do it. Vitrag would see both together. You know, oh, this packing is doing this. Really speaking, he's pure soul. Really speaking, they all see all pure souls and also see the packings at play. You know, for example, you at your kitchen table, you have various fruits lying around, you know, chiku, apple, this, that, and then you come all of a sudden enter in the room and all. Then you just see varieties of packing, you know, varieties of fruits. So Vitrags will see Shuddhatma and the packing both suited together. So now the first part is very easily being done by Prakriti, by intellect. They are like this, they are like that, materialistic, this, that. So now it is add chalo, see the Shuddhatma also. So it will even nullify whatever impact the judgment has, if at all. So that was the relative portion. Now see the real portion and square up, finish. Total Vitrag.
Yes.
You're not getting entangled into judgment. So that way you're Vitrag from the relative and you're seeing the Shuddhatma. So obviously Shuddhatma is absolute and real. So that will help us in coming to our own Shuddhatma state when we start seeing Shuddhatma in others. When I say I ought not become Shuddhatma. Otherwise, if I see the packing and judgmental, then I am engrossed in my intellect who is passing the judgment. So I am Tanmayakar with my file number one. So here is being Shuddhatma, the file number one is doing its own duty. The intellect is playing out its own discharge. And you are in the Purusharth portion of seeing Shuddhatma. So you're observing file number one's intellect as well as what file number one has observed on the other's Prakriti.
Okay.
That Saila's Ben's intellect has passed judgment on the other person.
Yes.
So you are seeing the other person as well as what Saila Ben is seeing.
Okay, I got it. Oh wow, beautiful. Okay, got it.
Yeah, basically, ultimately, you have to come to that what Saila Ben is doing.
Yes.
The ultimate awareness, Jagrati level that we have to reach is where we observe file number one on a constant basis. So here, when you see Shuddhatma, you see that file number one did this, and what file number one did, that also you see. So that way, you start becoming non-judgmental. And gradually it will taper off. Then gradually what will happen over a period of time, the good, bad things will come and go. You won't get totally engrossed, the judgment part of it, you know. And then as you start seeing Shuddhatma, that will not, it will be very superfluous. That outside vision is very superfluous because you will be anchored so much in pure soul that it does not make a difference what the other is doing.
I think that time the judgment also will automatically fall off.
That will follow. That will follow by practice.
Very nice. Thank you.
So that's it.
Hey, Satchidanand. You know, we have 4 levels of conflict. One is gross, that is bodily conflict, wherein we end up in a difference and there is outside clash. Further, is on the subtle side. The subtle side is at the mind level. The expression of the mind level conflict gets expressed on our face and at times in our speech. If you go still deeper into it, then you have conflict at the level of intellect, which is happening with all of us. And we have to get away with it. What it means that however intellect judges other people right or wrong, you come to know that it is not my judgment. It's intellect. I don't support, because we experience that separateness from our intellect level also. If we endorse what intellect has said, then there is problem. Then that judgment will start playing its role or start playing its part, and you will start feeling depending on that judgment. If the judgment is positive, you will feel positive. If the judgment is negative, you feel negative.
Yes.
Correct? So this is how we surpass our intellect and effects of intellect, which is at the subtle level of conflict. Although we know it's all Vyavasthit, it's all destiny, it's all the natural cosmic power is playing its role, power of Vyavasthit is playing its part, but still this is not right, which is the discharging effect at the subtler level, which is at the level of intellect, which we have to remain separate, remain unaffected, not to get affected even to the slightest extent, that however it may say, it may prove how the other person was at fault, that it was not the right thing he did or she did. But here he says, my knowledge, what I acquired from Dada Bhagwan, says that the person is innocent. Because your vision is limited, intellect vision is limited. And the vision of the Vitraga, what Dada Bhagwan has given us, that is pure soul vision, is 360 degrees. And from a limited viewpoint, the intellect is making this judgment. So we can easily surpass, ignore, and still remain unaffected, but never question why this judgment is there. It is like someone else is passing its judgment, and Celia said, no, I don't agree. You understand? Yes, in the same way, we can experience that separateness from our intellect and remain unaffected, and we don't react to any of the judgments of intellect, which is bound to come because it is the subtler part of the fault which is getting expressed or which is getting revealed.
Yes, that's also discharged.
And we have to learn to surpass that, also remain unaffected and say, what you say is right from your viewpoint. But no, my vision, my pure soul vision says he or she is innocent.
Yes.
Right? That's how you don't take the burden of intellect's judgment as my judgment, as your judgment. Correct? Because we have no connection with mind, speech, body, intellect, reflective consciousness, and ego, which is connected with Shailya.
Yes.
But we have to gradually learn to handle and surpass and still correct Shailya at the same time. Without having any grudge against Shailya or outside any individual.
You stay away
and which is
from
possible.
Okay.
Which with this, we have acquired that absolute vision, but the operating level is at the intermediate enlightened state.
Yes.
But passively, that absolute vision is also working. But when nothing is there, when no pressure is there, we are able to analyze, understand, correct, and surpass
Yes.
those effects.
Yes.
But when circumstantial pressure is there, that level comes down to
Yes.
intermediate enlightened state. So that's what. Jai Satchidanand.
Very nice. Thank you so much.
Jai Satchidanand. Kushabhai?
Yeah, just want to share one sutra. WhatsApp. This is regarding little different topic now, sleep, So it says Vadu unge to gati tiryanchni. I don't have the English one. You can please translate. I will read the Gujarati and please translate. प्रश्न करता વધારે પડતું ઊંઘ કરે તો કઈ ગતિમાં જાય. દાદાશ્રી આ બહાર જે દેખાય છે તે બધી લોકોની મજદૂરી કર્યા કરે પછી ગુનો લઈને ફર્યા કરવાનું. ગધેડો અવતાર નહીં તો ઘોડા ગાડી ચાલવાની. એ બધું ચાલ્યા કરીને આવતા ભાવ ફરી માનસમાં આવવાનું હોય નહીં એને. So this is basically they're saying that if we sleep a lot, we get adogati, So we get animal gati. So that is what it's saying basically. So please translate.
Deepakanandji?
Jai Satchidanand. Teenage form, life form means that of vegetation and animal. So here it says, even if someone sleeps more, then the person goes to animal or vegetation form. But here we have to understand here that when one is realized, and if this what is a mistake, or if this weakness is there, then he or she doesn't support this weakness and understands that it is of the file, and he or she would do pratikrama. This is what we have to understand primarily. But one who is not realized, then he or she will be supporting this act. In the sense, they say, oh, I love sleeping. So tomorrow is weekend, please don't disturb me, I'm going to wake up at 12. So this is what the basic difference between, the effect is same, but because of the separateness and enlightenment, we, the enlightened one, Mahatmas, they don't support this act. At the same time, they are working on it by doing pratikrama and correction.
So
you understand?
So yeah. So here, let me tell that first of all, for the non-realized person, so for them sleeping, why it leads to animal, gati, So this is the first. Please explain. For the non-realized.
Because you are, what do you say, taking peace or happiness through the bodily part, that is sleep, which itself is actually a karma. A vision obstructing karma, effect of vision obstructing karma. It is for effect of darshanavran. Darshan avran karma. First thing is that. So when someone supports that, then here Dada has said that one goes to, there is animal form or the plant form.
Because they got this avran, that is why?
No, it is because of the avran obstruction that they sleep, but over and above they support that.
Okay. Okay. So
That is the thing.
So they have to clear up in any that thing in.
No, they will not understand. It's very difficult for them.
Yeah.
So they may realize, oh, I sleep a lot and I must cut down my sleep and all that. But unless his or her belief changes that this sleeping is such a criminal waste of time, you don't get anything. And remember one thing, one who is happy will never like to sleep. One who is in pain, suffering, distress, disappointment, discussion, then that person would like to sleep.
Yeah, this is happening, so the normality is depending on the circumstances also, like you said, someone in pain, he will sleep more. Someone in tiredness, he will sleep more,
No, even someone is tired, he will sleep very briefly. Once his tiredness is removed, it gets specified, satisfied, he or she will wake up because they want to do something. It is because of the pressure that they got tired and they need a break.
So normality is how much it is required, and you don't support. That is the normality.
Correct. Right? You will never support. Okay. It's like it's a compulsion. I can't keep awake and I have to sleep.
Now
that is what will happen.
Yeah, this is okay, but now regarding to the self-realized person. So the self-realized person, there are two categories. The one who is doing the agnas and aware, Jagruti, aware, and one who is not. One who is not with Jagruti and awareness, that, but the one who is is not aware, or he before he used to sleep a lot, and he has bound that karma. So of course I understand that if he does the pratikraman, then he can clear that. But what happens if the self-realized person is not awareness and he doesn't apply diligently
then he will continue wasting his time, but because he is not involved that I am sleeping. Because that will never come to him. Because of that doubtless state that I am with total conviction and decision, I am pure. So that is always working behind curtain.
Conviction is there, so that is why it will stop.
It will not stop. It will continue because of the pressure. In the sense, because of the previous force, and he is not aware.
Yeah,
today.
But the self-realized person in self-life state, he had committed that mistake, so he has to undergo. He may have to undergo.
Yes, and once even when the self-realized person becomes aware, because listening to satsang, he comes to know, oh my God, I sleep so much. So his viewpoint, his belief changes. No, now I must not sleep so much. So gradually it will reduce. Eventually it will come to normality. That is the purpose of all this gathering. To understand and share experience of others who have become 100% normal or partially normal. So with the help of their experience, we overcome our abnormality.
And one more thing I want to tell in this regard.
Please.
Which is very helpful for me. I don't have to do anything. I just play Dadaji's cassette, and this regarding to sleep, everything becomes normal. This is what my experience is.
Good, very good, very good.
I just if I'm very tired or I cannot sleep or something, like I just play it, and then everything becomes normal. Tiredness goes away. Freshness comes, and I need very less sleep. This is what my experience.
Perfect. Very good.
Yes.
Pulinanandji?
That's right. If a person is happy, actually less sleep is required. So, as a Mahatma, our tendency should be our tendency should be that as less sleep as possible, and so that we remain aware of Jagrat more number of hours. So rather and sleeping again, deriving happiness from sleep also is Pudgal Sukh, then which is not desirable because we have to go towards Atma Sukh. So awareness of this thing that for a Mahatma, sleep is not a source of happiness. Whatever is necessary, file number one will anyway take away. But we should not be in favor of the sleep. In case we get up early and all that, then immediately we utilize that time. If you get up early or sleep, utilize that time fruitfully and don't feel that I'm not getting enough sleep. Sleep though as less as possible. Tata says animal like horse, they just have to very few hours of sleep. Similarly, we can aim for that, but don't rush into it that now I want to reduce my sleep. It is a result of inner happiness. It is a result of inner awareness that automatically the sleep portion in the file number one part, body part will get reduced automatically. So have a long-term vision that we have to lesser the sleep, better it will be. It's because we can remain alert for a greater number of hours. Plus, that is the basic understanding as far as sleep for Mahatmas goes. Yes, Sachin.
Yeah. Yeah. I have one more question if there is time.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. So regarding to the this when a thought comes, before that it comes as a in the form of vibration, right? So it is called spandan or adyavasan, whatever you call it. So first the vibration will call, then it will come, the thought will come, that is called vichar, means when you are involved in that, ego is involved in that, it is called vichar. It means you vicharete vichar, that is said. And then there's another thing which I little bit Deepakanandji explained, but I didn't. I want to understand more that the desire, so first is the vibration, the spandan, then the vichar, and where ego is involved, and then more ego is involved in the desire. So this I want to understand the whole process. What is that? The desire, the vichar, and the vibration. Three things.
Who said it? Deepakanandji.
Pulinanandji.
No, okay, go ahead, Deepakanandji.
See, Kachepji, if you go through that path, let me, I'm trying to get out, bring that path. Karam bandhai chetyare khabar patti nathi. We'll just try to get that quickly. Hold on. Because that very nicely it has come up. Get ready. 1 minute. Okay. Let's okay, see this portion. Okay, it's not coming. Okay, see here. Pratham Spandan Uthe Manma. Primary first fall. And why or why that vibration comes up or starts in the mind? Because of the information of the 5 senses that the mind get initiated. Clear?
Right.
Number 1. Now what happens? Intellect plays its part. Depending on the type of thought it this reflective consciousness, it starts showing pictures in that regard, depending on the type of thought that has come. And intellect will support either the mind part or the reflective consciousness part. And egoism is so much connected with the intellect because egoism follows the light of intellect. They are connected. That's why it is said, light of pure soul through egoism is intellect. So intellect, the moment it makes its judgment, ego is going to follow.
Right.
And now comes the thing. Samram is that vibration in the mind. And the moment that endorsement comes through the egoism, what it means, yes, I will do it. You understand that? Samaram.
Yeah.
Samaram. Samram is vibration. The moment it gets endorsed through egoism with the help of buddhi, it becomes samaram. And this anamchit guti liye, what it means, when such a thing comes, depending on your dravya karma means belief part. Along with the belief part, it gets endorsed. And chit, that is reflecting consciousness, will take its photograph. Yes, this is what I want. You understand that? One was discharging part, and this is the new one.
There is a vichar here, vichar.
You are going too back. Vichar is gone.
Okay, vichar, no, they say vicharete vichar, so.
Hey, my friend, we have come 80 miles and you're talking about 40 miles. Again, let me start. Initial vibration of our mind is the form of thought which gets initiated because of the five sense information. Clear? Now don't come back again.
No.
Did you understand?
Yeah, what I did understand, that was I was saying that the
okay, go ahead.
The spandan, what is called adhyavasan, the spandan and the vichar. First of all,
then vichar is when aham signs.
Vichar is?
When aham signs.
Okay.
Endorses.
Okay, that is the vichar. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, then
right?
now the desire, the desire, where is the desire part coming in?
This is the moment that egoism signs, the desire part comes. But here, what it says, samaram. Samaram means now it is what do you say? I mean, it gets endorsed.
Okay.
It gets endorsed. Aramchit gutile masala paramanu charger. Depending upon dravya karma drishti, that is belief, it gets endorsed. The chit gets endorsed. And with that, what do you call, raw material, masala.
So when ego signs, the thought also comes and the desire also comes. That is what you're saying?
There is past, man. What are you talking about here? Thought is done. It's over. And now it is getting endorsed by ego for its further action. Samram is vichar.
Samram is vichar.
Just thought. Pratam samram thata. Aham sahi thata samaram.
Okay, samram is the thought, and then after later with the desire comes. That you say.
Yes, and in that what happens, that what is further it is said, depending upon the belief, that is dravya karma drishti, vision.
Okay.
What happens is with that imagination in that vibhav, that is oneness with that.
Okay. Yeah.
Bhavakarma gets ready.
Yeah, and the chit.
That is causal body gets ready.
Chit will come in later. That is what you're saying.
No, chit comes first is the discharging part before the buddhi makes a judgment.
Okay, before that it comes.
Along with that spandan, mind vibration, the reflective consciousness discharging karmic effect will show its color. Will show its what is a part.
Okay.
Intellect will either endorse the mind or it will endorse the reflective consciousness. And the moment intellect endorses, ego will immediately shine.
Okay. Yeah, it's clear to me. Yes. Thank you.
Correct?
Yes.
Jai Satchidananda.
Jai Satchidananda.
And one more thing I would like to say, in one of the Aptavanis, later ones, is along with how Dravya Karma Drashti plays its part to cause a new karma, and here, for us, the enlightened ones, the Dravya Karma Drishti is not there because our belief as I am pure soul plays its part, so new karma cannot be charged. That's why there is no bhav karma. Right? Jai Satchidananda.
Nice. Okay, our time is up. So, okay, Pulinanandji.
And I just briefly repeat what he has already said. Is basically this is two points of discussion in this place. One is the samram, samaram, aram. So there it's a three words were used. One is samram, as it is shown in this part, that the thoughts that arise, the vibrations is samram. Then the ego gets into it, and it says, "Yes, I will do." The decision part, thought comes, "Let's eat mithai." Then the ego says, "Yes, I will eat mithai." So that is samaram. And then the physical action of going and eating mithai is called aram, the physical action part of it. So it's at three stages: samram, samaram, and aram. That's how one way of describing things. And the other thing that he was describing was how the antaskan plays a part in leading to external actions. Whenever vibrations come up, the intellect reads those vibrations, whether it likes them, it doesn't like them. Then the chitta will also show the photograph. Typical example is, I want to go for a place, say city A to city B. Then the one thought will be, let me go by train. One thought will say, let me go by flight. Then the chit will show the comfort of going by flight, or chit will show the discomfort of going by train, etc. So there will be visuals from the chit angle, vibrations or thoughts from the mind level, and then the intellect will weigh the pros and cons of the two. And finally, based on whatever it feels as advantageous, it will decide, no, I will go by flight. So that is after weighing the pros and cons, the intellect decides, and then ego is along with the intellect, and it endorses, and then he says, I have decided to go by flight. Ego only does the egoism that I have decided. Decision was of the intellect. It only follows it. So this is the way antaskaran plays the parts when action takes place. And another frame of reference, that these three, samram, samaram, and aram, how action take place. Action play based on the vibrations at that thought level, mind level. So that's just repetition of the same thing. Jai Sachin.
Jai Sachin. Deepakanandji, say mantra please. Unmute.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Vitragaya.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Arihantanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Siddhanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Ayariyanam.
Namo Vatsayanam.
Namo Vatsayanam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Namo Loe Savasahunam.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Eso Panchanamukaro.
Sauvapavappanasanu. Mangalanam cha Sauvesin.
Mangalam Sarve Singh.
Paramam Havai Mangalam.
Paramam Bhavai Mangalam.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya.
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai
Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand Pulinanandji. Jai
Satchidanand Pulinanandji
Satchidanand.
Deepakanandji Mahatma
Sati Dada Jai
Satchidanand.
Satchidanand. Shailya Ji Jai Satchidanand. Dr. Kashyap Ji Jai Satchidanand. Meera Jai Satchidanand. Sombhai Jai Satchidanand.
Shailaben,
Jai Satchidanand to all.
Jai Satchidanand to
Shaila
all.
Ben, Meera Ben, Rajni Ben. Jai Satchidanand.
Jai Satchidanand.
Deepakanandji, Pulinanandji, Rajni Kaka, all the
Uh,
Mahatmas.
Jai
Jai
Satchidanand.